In this video, you're gonna learn everything you need to know about YouTube monetization. In fact, I'm gonna be revealing how much YouTube pays me for 3 million views over the last month. And we're also gonna be talking about how to join the YouTube Partner Program, the 5 ways to earn money, payment methods and taxes, like how to actually collect the money from Google, who owns YouTube, key terms you need to know, and a new report that reveals how much creators are earning. Currently, millions of creators are earning money from the YouTube Partner Program, and we're going to be touching on alternative forms of revenue. So if your ambition is to be able to work from home, make a living from your influence on YouTube, bolt on extra streams of revenue to your business as an entrepreneur, then you're going to want to buckle your seatbelt for this entire video, because it's power packed with lots of important information that you need to know if you're serious about YouTube. And this information is coming directly from the source. It's coming from YouTube, and it gets kind of complex. So I'm going to be breaking it down so that you can understand it and apply it to your channel to not just grow faster, but to make more money. You got to just press record. If you're new to the channel, my name is Sean Cannell. My passion is helping you build your influence with YouTube. I've built multiple YouTube channels, and my passion is helping other people, like some of our students that you can see on screen here, get that silver play button, monetize their influence, and build a full-time business around their YouTube channel. So click subscribe if you haven't yet. And today's episode is all about YouTube monetization explained, 5 ways to earn money and how YouTube pays you. Now, this is part of our 3-part series. Part 1, we talked all about YouTube search and how YouTube works. In part 2, we talked all about YouTube recommendations. And once you got the views going, once you got that momentum, once you got the subscribers coming in, well, then how do you monetize? And so this is how YouTube works, part 3, all about monetization. And today's episode is brought to you by our YouTube starter kit. And if you haven't heard, we are running a very limited holiday special where you can get 90% off the YouTube starter kit. If you haven't seen, it's a digital asset bundle that is full of powerful resources like our YouTube Clarity Blueprint, the 15 YouTube title formulas for getting views, 51 money-making video ideas guide, which is very important in case you're not in the YouTube Partner Program yet. 51 video ideas to jumpstart your camera, best cameras and video equipment, how to create awesome thumbnails, which has a training of how we create thumbnails on Think Media that has not been released anywhere else. And we have a very special price of $37. That's over 90% off during the holidays. So tubestarterkit.com is where you can learn more about that. And now let's get into the episode. So how do you get into the YouTube Partner Program? Well, to apply for the YouTube Partner Program, you must meet, check this out, eligibility thresholds related to watch time and subscribers. You must fill out an application, and then YouTube reviews the application to ensure that your channel has not run afoul of YouTube's monetization, content, and copyright policies. Only channels that meet eligibility requirements and thresholds and follow the guidelines will be admitted to the program, which makes them eligible to receive access to ads and other monetization products. So if you're excited to actually explain some of this crazy language, smash the like button, because I'm going to try to make this as clear and as simple as possible in this video. But if you want the current update of how monetization works, let's break it down. So the minimum eligibility requirements to join is that you need to follow monetization policies. We're going to talk about that, but that's a collection of policies. There's a lot of different ones. And if you're a YouTube partner, your agreement includes that you're in compliant with things like copyright, things like YouTube's terms of service, that you have advertiser-friendly content, that you live in a country where the YouTube Partner Program is available. Now, in the description, there's going to be a series of links. The YouTube Partner Program is available in, I think, nearly 100 countries now. So you need to be living in a country where it's available. You need to have more than 4,000 public watch hours. That's hours of your content consumed across your whole channel within 12 months. And that's a rolling 12 months. It's not like ever. It means it's always the last 12 months. Have you hit 4,000 watch hours yet? And I think it happened to me on one of my smaller channels. I actually got booted out of the program for not maintaining my amount of watch time hours. So you have to make sure you hit that. You need at least 1,000 subscribers, and then you need to link an AdSense account. And we're going to continue to explain these things in greater detail. Now, in the back of your YouTube channel, you're going to see once you have accepted the program terms, once you have set up your Google AdSense account. So the two different things you need to set up is a YouTube channel. Then you also need to set up a Google AdSense account. Remember, links in the description to resources. Once you've got your monetization preferences set up, then your channel goes into a review after you've hit the targets. And so what you'll see, it looks different depending on how updated the back end of your YouTube is. It'll say you need 1,000 to be reviewed and 4,000 to be reviewed. So it'll count it up. Now, at the time of recording this, I'm recording it on our Think Marketing YouTube channel, on our Coffee with Candle show. And we just got this channel, it's brand new this year, and it took us a few months to hit these targets. We were rolling the hours up, uploading our video podcast and doing live streams like I'm recording this one. And we were just calculating those hours, hit the subscribers, and then eventually we applied to get reviewed. It sometimes can take a couple days. It could sometimes take weeks. So that's kind of the process. And in the back end of your YouTube channel, you'll see where you are on that journey. So you also need to set up an AdSense account for your payments. And then later you will connect that AdSense account to your YouTube channel. A key thing here is you really want to make sure you only have one AdSense account. They're very passionate about this. Notice it says duplicate AdSense account created through your YouTube will not be approved and will be turned off for the associated YouTube channel. So let's summarize it. How do you join? You need to make sure you start a YouTube channel. Then you need to follow YouTube policies. We're going to go deeper into those in just a second. So this is where it gets into the idea that just because you have a YouTube channel and even just because you're getting your content viewed, if you don't rest inside of YouTube's good graces regarding your content, then you may not be approved for monetization on a channel basis or on an individual video basis. You got to live in a country where the YPP, the YouTube Partner Program, is available. You have to reach the eligibility thresholds, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time in the last 12 months. You then have to apply and get reviewed. And there's not a lot you can do to speed that up or not, besides maybe how advertiser friendly your content is, how much content you've posted. YouTube likes to say part of the reason of those eligibility thresholds is now they have something to review. They can see your brand. They can see your channel. They can see your thumbnails. They can get an idea of what your channel is about. So if it becomes very quickly clear that, wow, this person is not really playing in like a copyrighted content place, their topic and subject matter is really aligned with advertiser guidelines, they've been putting out a lot of consistent content, there seems to be good user engagement, those things could potentially get your channel approved quicker. And let's say you're more borderline in a gray area of the type of content you create, it might take longer. And again, there's not a lot you can do to control that review timeline period. And then number 6, you got to set up an AdSense account and then link your AdSense account. And once you've done all these things, you could start collecting money from YouTube. A couple things that'll help speed up getting approved is you want to enable 2-step verification for your Google account, which means you will protect your account and your password. So it's smart. You should have two-step verification everywhere to prevent you or help you from getting hacked. Make sure you only have one AdSense account. And then once you get accepted, then you can start building from there. If you get rejected from the YouTube Partner Program and the reviewers found that a significant portion of your channel doesn't meet the policies and the guidelines, you can reapply after 30 days. So don't worry if you get rejected, you can always reapply. All right, next, what are YouTube's monetization policies? That's the big question, right? A key eligibility requirement of the YPP is to follow monetization policies. They include community guidelines, terms of service, and the Google AdSense program policies. That's quite a bit of stuff, right? So here's what you have. You have community guidelines, terms of service, copyright, Google AdSense policies, and advertiser-friendly policies. Now, I've got good news for you. If you're already feeling a little overwhelmed, take a deep breath and know that there are other ways to earn money besides the YPP. However, this also should not be super overwhelming because if you're just making good content that's helping people and serving people, this shouldn't really cause you any stress. But YouTube is a massive company owned by Google, right? That is actually paying millions of creators through this program. And when you sign up for this, you're in business. It's just like going to sign up for a job and to get hired at a new job where you're going to fill out like forms and go through training and onboarding. So they have legal vulnerabilities as a massive company. They're in business with you. So that's why there's all of this different policies and whatnot. So here's a couple clarity points of what this stuff is. Community guidelines. That includes spam and deceptive practices are things that will get you disapproved. If you are impersonating somebody else, if you're linking to porn or malware or deceptive content, if you're running scams, sensitive content, anything that maybe violates child safety, thumbnails with sensitive content that maybe has like nudity or violence or misleading thumbnails, self-injury, suicide. This video will probably get demonetized because of the words I'm using. Violent and dangerous content, cyberbullying, regulated goods. It could be illegal or recreational drugs, firearms, all of that kind of stuff. If your content is about that, you may not get your channel monetized because you could be outside of the community guidelines. If you go, well, this channel that does that kind of stuff is monetized and is part of the YPP, well, one, they might have limited ads being shown, or sometimes you might get your channel approved, which is fine, but maybe you talk about one of those topics in a particular video and that one video might get demonetized, just like this one might get. Notice even the words I was saying, I said some words just now about, nudity. Like YouTube might turn the monetization of this video from green to yellow because I'm talking about illegal drugs, and they're going to hear those types of things all the more depending on what the visuals are in your video and whatnot. And that's just your general community guidelines. I get it. You might be like, why can't I just talk about whatever I want and just have YouTube pay me? Look, you're in business. They're the boss. We're technically the employee in terms of the YPP. If they say jump, we say how high. Unless you want to monetize in other ways, and we'll talk about that. But I think that is an important thing to know. Now, the terms of service are just like you probably do this with every software you install. Every time you open up like your phone, your Droid, or your Apple, and you just skip through 48 pages of terms of service. Well, yeah, that's going to be your rights, YouTube's rights, how they're going to handle your information. So you have to sign off on that when you sign up for a YouTube channel and an AdSense account. Lots of details in there. We won't go into it. Copyright. Creators should be uploading videos that they've made themselves, that you're authorized for all the content in the video. That means you shouldn't upload videos you didn't make or use content in your video that is copywritten, like music or copyrighted programs or TVs or video made by other users without necessary authorizations. So if you really want to be on the safe side of YPP, you want to avoid copywritten content. Now, there's a whole segment of people who use what's called fair use to put compilations together. Gaming is technically copywritten, but a lot of gaming companies will allow their content to be streamed because they know it builds their brand. Others have challenged that, and it seems weird, but yet it's in their power to do so. There's movie review channels that play clips of movies or photos of movies talking about recaps of shows or seasons. So there's ways to use copywritten content. That's a subject for another day regarding fair use, but you could get into trouble if your content is not your own. What you want to consider is you could be building your channel, hitting your subscribers, getting views, getting your hours, and then your channel might not be approved depending on the type of content on the channel. So if you're going to build a YouTube business around the YPP, you want to think through all of these things, and you could study more fair use if you are creating certain types of content. Then, of course, Google's AdSense policies. Now, Google AdSense is the ad platform that integrates through the advertising that will play on your videos. So some of their policies are like that you're not going to click on your own ads, that you cannot tell your viewers to click on your own ads or try to reward, hey, we're doing a giveaway, if you click on whatever, invalid clicks, spam, because they don't want you to game the system. And that's kind of what those policies are. And then you've got your advertiser-friendly content guideline. So if you check all the boxes, you're kind of within the community guidelines, and these overlap a little bit with the advertiser-friendly guidelines. But again, this now is up to Target, whether they want to advertise on your videos or whether, a baby clothing company or any creator wants to, a particular church or faith group may not want to advertise on a certain type of content. So if you want to be advertiser friendly, inappropriate language could cause limited monetization or demonetization and not getting approved. Violence, adult content, shocking content, harmful and dangerous acts, hateful content, incendiary or demeaning content, recreational drugs or drug-related content, tobacco-related content, firearm content, controversial issues and sensitive events, and adult themes in family content. I know this is controversial, and some people go, well, I want to talk about the news. I want to talk about world events. And this is something that YouTube continually struggles with. This is why many news channels, whether it's on the right or the left, whether it's one of my favorite news channels, Phil DeFranco, why he has created multiple other revenue streams. When you're talking about the news, you might not be a channel about recreational drugs, but you might be talking about, like I'm talking about it right now, right? And this video might get demonetized. Therefore, you have multiple other streams of revenue. You want to worry if this is the theme of your channel, but I wouldn't worry too much about one-off videos being monetized or not, because sometimes you just want to talk about or need to talk about what you need to talk about. But these are important information to know. At the end of the day, this is the YouTube monetization policies. And so when you are in the good graces of YouTube, then things will go great for you in the YouTube partner program. Let me give you an example. On our channel, Think Media, we're pretty advertiser friendly. In fact, like almost completely, I would think completely, because we're talking about cameras, how to use a camera. We don't curse in the videos, and we don't use illegal drugs while filming in the videos. You know what I mean? So like it's pretty straight and narrow. Now on the other side, depending on your content format, these are things you need to consider. And please do not, and that's actually, if you want to drop a comment and talk about how mad you are, please do. But you know, at the end of the day, they go, well, this is YouTube's free will to let you in or not. So advertisers want certain types of content. And by the way, there are certain advertisers that actually maybe want edgier content. You know, they don't mind being on certain types of content. And YouTube is giving an environment where that is made possible. All right. So the 5 ways to earn money with the YPP. Hit the like button if you're getting value out of this video so far. So number 1, advertising revenue. We all know this. When you watch an ad that plays at the beginning of a video, this is also overlay ads, a little banner, or different video ads, display ads when you search and there's ads at the top. Channel memberships. You can become a member of a certain channel if they set that up, and you can collect money monthly for someone to subscribe for like premium content from you, for extra videos from you that are just for members. Merchandise shelf underneath your videos on our Think Media channel, right underneath the video, you can get Think hats, Think hoodies, things like that. So people can browse and buy merchandise. Super chat and super stickers. If you're getting value out of this very training, you could drop a super chat. You could do a super sticker, and this gives you a chance to have your message highlighted and to kind of be like a tip jar to say, hey, Sean, grateful. YouTube premium revenue. This is interesting because I pay for YouTube premium. I pay so that I don't see any ads. But the big thing about YouTube premium revenue is you're skipping past advertiser friendly content, because I pay 10, 11, 12 bucks, whatever it is now a month, to be distributed between the content I watch. Because how do creators get paid when I watch content? Because I don't see ads when I'm logged in on the channel that has YouTube premium revenue. So they are going to distribute a portion of that YouTube premium revenue to the creator that's a part of the YouTube monetization program, the YouTube partner program. They're going to give them a portion of my YouTube Red money. Think about that, no matter what kind of content it is. Meaning, if it was non-advertiser friendly, I am watching it and I've already paid YouTube for it. So there's some algorithmic way they distribute that, but that is a different kind of stream. And when you'll see in your backend and your AdSense, this is something that will show up for you as a separate source of revenue. Thanks so much for that super chat, and congrats on hitting 1,000 subscribers. You're welcome for the advice. So here's the requirements. Ad revenue, you got to be 18 years old or have a legal guardian older than 18 years of age who can handle your payments via AdSense. So how do these kids channels, how are they a part of, the YPP? They have a legal guardian sign up for the AdSense. Okay. Next, you got to create content that meets advertiser friendly content guidelines. And we just described all the different kind of YouTube policies. Now, channel memberships. If you want to be able to invite people into channel memberships, you got to be at least 18 years old and have more than 30,000 subscribers. And one thing to note is this stuff is constantly updating and changing. So that's one reason why you definitely want to hit subscribe, because you just want to have a constant flow of information for when maybe the subscriber amounts change. It's within YouTube's free will. And we're going to be talking about a little bit later how policies do change and how there's updates. So you need to have more than 30,000 subscribers for channel memberships. Merchandise shelf, you need to have more than 10,000 subscribers. Super chats, you got to live in a country and region where super chat is available. And then it would precede the fact that you've got your channel approved to go live. You can actually start going live on desktop, pretty easy. And you could look that up on how to do that. You could go live on your mobile phone. I think you need 1,000 subscribers, but once you do, you're able to get a super chat like KG Beauty Within just dropped. Thank you so much, KG Beauty. Appreciate you. And so that's a super chat. And how cool, you just saw $5 just came to the Think Marketing channel. Much love and appreciation out of gratitude for this training. In some cases, you might be, more of an entertainment, more than an education channel, but that's a way to earn revenue through the YouTube Partner Program. And then YouTube Premium revenue, which is content create content watched by a viewer who is a YouTube Premium subscriber. It's actually a portion of that person's YouTube Premium membership going to the creator that they want to support. That's one reason why I love YouTube Premium membership, because it really is, not only do you not have to watch ads, so it saves time, but it allows you to like directly interface with the creators you watch most. That when you spend your time consuming someone's content, you're voting for them, even just with like the 11 or 12 bucks a month that you pay to be a part of that. Now there's a sixth way. It's called Brand Connect. And once your channel reaches a certain size, this shows up in the back end. So like we don't have this on our Think Marketing channel. We do on our Think Media channel. And this helps you get paid to include brand content in your video. You need to have a pretty large channel. I'm not sure the exact numbers. And this is kind of a way to do influencer marketing and brand deals directly connected to YouTube. I believe my friends Benji and Judy almost exclusively do brand deals now through this because they're in a good flow with it. And so on Think Media, we're signed up and they will email us when there's opportunities, and they do not guarantee they'll email you. So in the meanwhile, that is a way brand deals can flow to us on Think Media, but we've lately been working with Viltrox and GVM and Epidemic Sound and vidIQ and different people just directly. So think about that too. Outside of the YouTube Partner Program, outside of getting approved for Brand Connect, as soon as you biz dev, as soon as you start to hustle and build those relationships, build a targeted audience, then you're able to start taking advantage of that. So here's the fact. You don't have to be a part of the YouTube Partner Program to make money on YouTube. I just want you to know that. We're going to go deeper into some information you need to know, but your goal is to create multiple revenue streams through other side hustles and businesses. And you should do that either way. Even if you are a part of the YouTube Partner Program, you don't want to become dependent on just that one income stream. For example, this happened recently. There was a YouTube bug that cut certain creators' pay by 50% or more. And it was pretty crazy because so people showed they had money coming in every day, 50 bucks a day, 150 a day, and it just zeroed out. Now, YouTube did not acknowledge the problem or provide any details, and it seemed to be remedied. And my point is not to go deep into this, but here's my mindset. My mindset is that at any time, YouTube ad revenue could go away, and that I don't want to build my business on YouTube ad revenue. At this point, and I'm going to reveal some numbers to you in just a bit, the YPP is a very powerful program that impacts what we're building at Think Media overall in our company. But again, I'm just aware that if for some reason we fell outside of advertiser-friendly guidelines, it's like they're like an at-will employer. They can do what they want. So I also want to have income streams that are within my control. So that is a huge mindset that I want you to take on. If you're serious about doing this full time, you got to build multiple streams of revenue and think bigger and think different. And if you want help doing that and you haven't watched our free class at thinkmasterclass.com, it's brand new and updated for 2021. And so it's going to teach you other ways to earn money outside of the YouTube Partner Program, as well as how to get views and subscribers and some of the latest strategies for growth working right now on YouTube. So again, thinkmasterclass.com, and a summary of all resources in the YouTube description below, including that and the links and places to sign up and all the stuff we're talking about in this video, which brings us to how do I get paid by YouTube when I earn money? How do I get paid? Unless you're part of a MCN, a multi-channel network, then all payments are going to be issued through your AdSense account. Now, I don't necessarily recommend being a part of an MCN. I've got friends who have niche channels, meaning they have like 20 different faceless channels, and they usually run those all through an MCN, and then they get paid through PayPal from that MCN. That's getting a little complex. But at the end of the day, when you work through an MCN, they're dealing with like AdSense in a way, or they're even dealing directly with advertisers and able to like sell ads on your videos or however it works out. And then they're cutting you a check. For most of us, we're going to be just sign up on AdSense. So here's what it says. In order to receive your payments, sign up into an AdSense account and make sure you've resolved all payment holds. So sometimes it's like you need to update your social security number. You need to update your tax info. You need to make sure your address is verified, whatever. And there's a reason they're holding your payment. Once you've reached your payment threshold, and we'll talk about that in a second, then they will cut you your money as long as you're not suspended on your channel for not being in compliance with the policies. So here's how you get paid. Number one, provide your tax information to Google AdSense. Then you confirm your personal information. You have to verify your identity. Again, not required in all locations, but I think US, Canada, Australia, Europe, you're going to need to do that. Verify your address as well. Select your form of payment and then meet the payment threshold. Now, here's how you confirm your personal information. Because personal identification numbers are sent to a mailing address. So if you have a mailing address, they send a PIN number. So now they know that that is a real address because a piece of mail came to that address and you entered that PIN number online. Got it? And it's also important to confirm the accuracy of your payment address and your payee name. And let me just pause here because every once in a while I get an objection and someone's like, well, wait a minute. I like don't want anyone to know my identity though. Well, then you're probably not. I mean, I get it. You might be able to go out somewhere, like wait by the certain fence at 6 a.m. in the morning to get, to go do some work under the table to get some cash. This is not that. This is working with a giant corporation that like needs your identification number, needs you to have an address, needs you to be a real person. And that's just what it is. So you have to, give them your name, give them your information, just like most employers that are paying, or all employers that are paying taxes are going to require your social security number and all that kind of stuff. You will become kind of like an employee for Google who owns YouTube. All right. So you can change your payment address, change your payee name. You're going to verify your identity. So depending on location, you need to verify your identity, your name, your address, your date of birth. You typically, if you're required to do this, you typically won't be asked to verify your address if you verified your identity. And YouTube's always doing things like maybe they'll send certain pins to your phone to confirm with the phone number. And if your phone number is, you might be able to get this done really quick, or you might have to jump through some hoops and have them mail you like a piece of paper. So verifying your address, when your earnings reach a certain threshold, they'll mail you a PIN number in most cases. Wait 2 to 3 weeks for that to arrive. And then you'll enter that PIN number and you'll be able to, that'll verify your address. Now, you can start collecting money. Let's say you get approved for the YPP and your channel's making money. You actually don't need to be too afraid that you're not going to be able to get that money, even if it just keeps building up. It may just be sitting there until you check all of these boxes, cross all your T's, dot all your I's, and then all the money will be released to you at once. So maybe you're like, shoot, my money's just been sitting in my Google AdSense, but I haven't verified my address. I haven't selected my form of payment. As soon as you get that all dialed, that money should be released to you. Next, when you reach a certain payment threshold, you then select your form of payment. There may be several payment forms available to you, and we'll cover those in a second. And usually when it comes to your threshold, for example, it could be different depending on where you live, but it's probably like $100. So if your current balance reaches $100 during January, let's say, and you've completed all of these steps, then you'll issue the payment to you at the end of February. This is important to know. So if you're like desperate to pay your next bill with rent, this is not the strategy for you if you're just getting started. You should be thinking about earning money in other ways, because you can see this could take weeks, get it approved, months to get it all set up, for the checks to come through. Plus you got to get the views and the monetization to build up. So again, let's also say you make $33 a month in the YPP once you're approved. It might take you a couple months before you hit a payment threshold, and then that will actually be released to you, right? So that is how that breaks down. Now, how can I actually collect the money from YouTube, which is Google, through AdSense? So when you reach the threshold, you may be eligible for checks, EFTs, electronic funds transfers, EFT versus via single euro payments area, a SEPA, a Rapida, a wire transfer. These are some of the ways. And again, we'll link resources. Personally, I have direct deposit set up, electronic funds transfer. So every month, with the momentum we have now, obviously we hit the threshold every month and the money just gets transferred into my business bank account. You may want to, separate conversation, but eventually you may want to identify your side business with separate accounts. Even if you don't set up an LLC, and this is not legal advice or business structure advice, but even if you don't actually set up an LLC or an S Corp or anything else, you may want to set up a separate bank account. And that way you can know how much your side hustle is earning, and you could connect your Amazon affiliates, your YouTube partner program. If someone pays you, the money goes in that account. So that way you actually maybe know, and on the one hand, you're not intermingling funds. So it might even help you later on taxes for organization, but even just for organization, you direct all of your side hustle income into a particular bank account. But regardless, That's how I do it. The other way is once your address is approved, they may actually mail you a check. Then you have to go to your bank and deposit that check. Some people like getting that check in the mail. I use electronic funds transfer. How much does YouTube pay? So now I'm signed up for the YPP. Now I'm in the program. YouTube pays a rate between 0.01 cents and 0.03 cents for an ad view. Now, when you look in your analytics, you'll notice there's a difference between a view and an ad view. The key is they're going to pay for an ad view, not a view. What are you talking about, Sean? Well, ads don't always play, right? So you get paid when someone actually views an ad. So based on this article, a YouTuber can make around $18 per 1,000 ad views, which comes out to $3 to $5 per 1,000 video views. Okay. And that's called what's called a CPM. And they say that CPMs range anywhere from $1 to $5. So a simple way to think about it is, again, that for every 1,000 views you might make $2. And therefore, if you got 1 million views, you'd make $2,000. 1,000 views, $2, 1 million views, $2,000. Now, Forbes estimates that top talent can make anywhere from $5 for every 1,000 video views, $5. There's eventually what's called YouTube premium ads, which is reserved for like the elite YouTube channels. And they might make more because their influence is considered to be greater. So the thing you need to know is that this varies. It varies on your niche. It varies on where you live. It varies a lot on your audience, how old your audience is, how much buying power they have. And this is a conversation for another video. It also varies on engagement. Some of our top viewed videos on Think Media, I'll actually show you some later, that are longer and have more engagement, earn more. It has to do with the topic of the content. It has to do with the niche you're in. So there's a lot of factors. So here's a couple key terms that you need to know. One is CPM and RPM. So CPM is the cost per 1,000 ad impressions. It stands for cost per mil, I believe, and mil means 1,000 in like Latin. And so CPM is the cost per 1,000 ad impressions before YouTube takes a revenue share. And we're going to explain YouTube's revenue share. You are not getting all the money. So RPM is the total revenue after YouTube's revenue share. So the CPM is like, what does it cost to advertise on this particular channel? For example, if you have a channel that's all about personal finance, saving, stocks, and investing, advertisers advertising on that channel may pay a lot more money because of the audience that watches Graham Stephan talk about the stock market might be kind of a more affluent audience. Therefore, they'll pay more. If something is considered, if you will, lower quality, call it just cat videos. It's a random audience. It's not super focused. It may be getting millions and millions of views, but it's a ton of 13-year-old kids. And it's a ton of people that just don't really, it's a different audience. So the CPM could be less than $1 on one channel, and the CPM could be $30 on another channel. So CPM is a number, as it says here, that's more advertiser focused. It includes only video views from videos that are monetized, and it's earnings before the revenue share, whereas RPM is actually a number that they started putting in your back end that's focused on you. It's actually just there to simplify things for you, to actually say, how much money did you actually make? Sean, give me a break. This is the most intellectual, this is a lot of information, bro. Summarize it, RPM. Like when you see your RPM, it's telling you how much you're making. And here's what it also includes. It includes how much you're earning from ads after YouTube takes their cut. It includes also all the super chats, channel memberships. So it just kind of gives you a number of how your channel is performing. It includes the total number of views from your videos and includes ones that did not monetize. CPM's focused on ads actually paying. RPM saying you got 1 million views a month. And based on getting 1 million views a month, you got people in channel memberships. You got people watching your videos. You got ads playing sometimes, other times. Let's just simplify it. Out of the 1 million views, here's how much you earned. You went live a bunch of times. Here's the super chats. All views and activity, final money left over. So RPM is their attempt to summarize it in this case. And I've seen RPM be used different in different marketing settings. So here's Think Media in November 2020. Playback-based CPM, $20.49. That might shock you because if the average CPM is $3 to $5 or even $1, 20 is freaking crazy. Why? Think Media is talking about tech products, talking about business development, talking about things like this, which are much more intellectual, like entrepreneurs watching like you, creators like you that are, this is not an entertaining cat video. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole different mindset if you're here. So it's a higher CPM. Notice how aggressive this is though. That's just the total number before YouTube took their cut. My RPM is like half that. See that? YouTube's taken, I'll tell you the exact percentages in a second, but it's almost like YouTube takes half. Now, we don't get a ton of super chats live stream wise on Think Media, so that doesn't affect it. We don't have channel memberships. So this is a pretty raw measure of simply ads. And off of 3.4 million views total, that doesn't mean all the views were monetized, right? Or that ads played the whole time. But in November on Think Media, out of 3.4 million views, we earned $30,000, almost $31,000. And it varies, depends on the channel. But now you're seeing an example, what niche you pick, the quality of your content, the quality of the engagement. That's how much I earned in November 2020 from Think Media. Now, what is the revenue split with creators? Here's your big question, right? When you enable ads and you're a part of the YPP, you think about that CPM number, that bigger number. Google's revenue share, it's a 45-55 split. So Google takes 45% of YouTube advertising and you get 55%. So if there was $100, Google's working with Dove soap and they sell an ad on your video or a cluster of videos, and Dove pays Google $100 and Google gives you 55 and they keep 45. You could let me know in the comments if you think that's fair and if you think YouTube taking a split is fair. In my opinion, I mean, they give you YouTube for free to use. They have the distribution, they built the infrastructure. So it is what it is, but that's the split. And what you're getting again is what's left over after that advertising. Now, I believe, obviously this is an article from investopedia.com, but I haven't seen Google reveal this anywhere publicly. So I also think this could change. You know, this is just kind of a known amount, but maybe depends on the channel. And remember, it's their will to say, hey, we want to change it. We want to keep more. And by the way, they might need to. Like, I don't know, they're doing pretty well. They're listing crazy profits. They're up like 5 billion, up like 30% over last year right now. Google and YouTube are doing real well, but they can always change things to affect shareholders, hire new employees, scale, whatever it is they need to do, right? Because keep in mind also that running this program is freaking insane. The amount of, and they keep throwing more people at it, and they don't even have near enough people to review content, to see if videos are advertising compliant or if they got demonetized for the wrong reasons. They are throwing thousands and thousands of people at it. They probably need to throw 250,000 people at it. So there's this ever-growing multi-dimensional conversation happening around this. There's you, the creator, me, the creator, but there's a lot of things at play, but it's also a fact that Google is doing very well, as we can see. Memberships, this one, really lean in for this. YouTube takes 30% of a channel membership, giving creators 70%. So you're allowed to affect how much people pay per month. I think it could be $1. 5 is kind of an average. Now, keep in mind, Twitch is 50-50. All right. So that's interesting. A 50% split between creators and the company. If you have a $5 tag on, membership on your site. So it's kind of nice that you get 70%. In my opinion, that's still a whole lot. So let's say you charge people $10 a month to become a member of your channel. You're further down the road. You've thought about different premium content, exclusive content you're going to give them. When you're a channel member, you get things like stickers and things like that, a channel member community tab. But I think the biggest thing you can do is exclusive Q&A or exclusive training or early things to really make it worth what they're investing in. And some people want to just support the channel and some people want the premium content. But all that said, if it's $10, YouTube's going to take 3 and you're going to keep 7. Now, we actually have a membership program. Now, we host it off of YouTube and we pay for software called Kajabi, but they don't take a percent of anything. So we just we pay to use the software. And besides fees, which in every case, there might be transaction fees, Apple Pay fees, 1-2% of whatever transaction fees. We pay that too using Stripe. So we pay like less than 2% for the transaction, but we keep nearly then about 98%. So if you think about that at scale, let's say you got 1,000 members at $10 a month, that would be $10,000 a month. YouTube would take $3,000. You'd keep $7,000. If you set it up off of YouTube, you'd keep 98%. However, and this is where you need to make your decisions as you're building your brand and thinking about your future, YouTube's so integrated. Maybe somebody doesn't want to go somewhere else. Maybe they want to just live on YouTube. Maybe they want the ease of use. Maybe you don't want to pay for another software service, especially if you're a creator that's starting. This isn't going to cost you anything once you hit this threshold. So even if it's a place you start and you move later, you don't have to think like I'm paying for separate software. I hope I hit enough members. Again, like what's kind of nice is actually when you're on the smaller side, your YouTube's taking the risk or they're taking all the heavy lifting. And why wouldn't you give them 30%? But what I would say is if you're further along, let's say you're doing $100,000 a year from a channel membership situation, YouTube would take 30,000 of those dollars, leaving you with 70. You might want to start, considering your decisions at that level. So let me know if this is valuable information. And if you do appreciate and you've been getting value out of this video, it would mean the world to me if you hit the like button and give me some feedback. What else do you want to know? And what questions do you have for future videos regarding channel memberships, building your business, YouTube ad revenue? Next, Super Chat. How much does YouTube take from Super Chat? They take 30%. And this is not considering any Apple service fees, tax, MCM cuts, etc. So it's just kind of the raw numbers. And Super Chats can be anywhere from $1 to $500. Okay. Now, to turn on monetizations options, each one gets kind of turned on uniquely or specifically. So let me give you an example. If you want to turn on Super Chats, you need 1,000 subscribers. You're already a member of the YouTube Partner Program. You're in one of the right countries. And I actually let's see this. When we'll talk about this a little bit later, kids content, if you have your audience set for made for kids, then it might restrict Super Chats, or it will. If a certain video is made for kids, it will probably restrict Super Chats. And it kind of makes sense because if a kid is watching that, how in the world are they actually, it's probably their parents' credit card, you paying you money with super stickers and Super Chats. So that's a heads up if you have content made for kids, and we'll touch that on that later. But I actually just turned it on Think Marketing. It wasn't even turned on yet. As I mentioned, this is a new channel this year. Okay. And so you can see if you go to your monetizations tab, you start getting new options and new boxes. Video advertising, that's your YPP, your merchandise shelf that you can start building out, your Super Chats, and you also have your memberships that you can set up. So I clicked on Super Chats. I clicked Get Started. Okay. And I went over to Supers up top. You could see that there. So you've got merchandise, memberships, Supers. And then it opened up a commerce product addendum. This is like a terms of service. See this? So you scroll through this whole thing. I then entered my name, my email, and something else. And boom, Think Marketing had Super Chats turned on, and people were able to give today in Super Chats for the first time. Pretty cool. And so then you have this little knob where you can disable it on and off now if you want to just flip a switch. But now whenever we go live for Coffee with Cannell or Think Marketing live with Heather Torres, Super Chats can come in. And one of the ways we'll use that in the future is if you give a Super Chat, maybe then it'll just put you to the front of the line for Q&A or doing channel reviews or something like that. So those are ideas if you could think about ways to include that in how you monetize. Key is once you've even hit the threshold like we have on this channel, you then go into, and you can see these tabs, merchandise, membership, supers, giving. And I think giving is YouTube allowing you to partner with different nonprofits. And eventually that Brand Connect tab will show up. And so as you evolve in getting subscribers and watch time, and as your channel grows, there may be more features. And then as YouTube evolves, they might bolt on more features and more ways for you to earn money. All right, a couple new YouTube monetization updates. One of the huge things that happened recently was beginning in January 2020, YouTube dramatically curtailed the data collected for videos marked for made for kids. And they disabled a lot of features if videos were targeting kids, limiting ads for kids. And so this is why on each one of your videos and live streams, you need to be selecting, unless you can select this at a channel level and also at an individual video level. You could say, yes, it's made for kids, or no, it's not made for kids. Not the topic of this video, but if it's not made for kids, it's not made for kids. It's not, could it be watched by kids? You should take that into consideration. Man, there's no way for kids focused creators to make money. That is not true. And I'll show you in a second how actually still the top earning creators are making content for kids. It just made the ads less specific, but brands could still advertise on a channel on a macro. It had a lot more to do with the detail of ads and the fact that like when YouTube follows you around is like collecting your watch time history, deciding what to recommend to you. And so it's like COPPA said, you can't collect all that data. People can still advertise on the videos, in a broad sense, just in a less granular sense. And this has been an evolving topic. So that's something to know about. And then lately, or most recently, YouTube made a massive, this is huge, friends, lean in. YouTube will now show ads on all videos, even if creators don't want them. And YouTube's going to run ads on smaller creators' videos without paying them. So there's a lot of outrage in the community of people that were like, what the heck? Because it's kind of like a double whammy to small creators. Number one, you actually may opt to not turn ads even on because you'd rather win influence before you build your income. That's what we did on all of our channels. In my whole journey, I've withheld turning on monetization right from the start because we've been more interested in building our brand than turning on. Eventually we turn it on, but it's like, if nobody knows you yet, what's 5 cents on a YouTube ad compared to potentially building a bond? Different people have different opinions, but now you have no choice. So whether you could either turn ads on or not, but the double whammy is that you don't even get a cut. You know, when you're part of the YPP, you get 55%. In this case, YouTube's keeping 100%. This shows you that YouTube can do whatever they want, whenever they want. Now, to put some things into perspective on this, they are just rolling this out and testing. This does not mean that ads will be playing on your videos if you're not a part of the YouTube Partner Program. They're rolling it out and testing. That's how YouTube does things. They roll out features on some channels, some videos, and they test it. So we'll see where this goes. And on the other hand, this is why it's important to have multiple streams of income. And what I also think, and we're going to be making a concerted effort here at Think Media and Think Marketing to create some content to help you reach that 1,000 subscriber threshold and 4,000 hour watch time very specifically, because I want the YPP money to go directly to you. I know some business owners and entrepreneurs that even if they were eligible for the YPP, they didn't want to do it because the business model they have, the products and the services they have to sell so far outweigh AdSense, they'd rather get you right into the content, help you, serve you, and give you a chance to do business with them rather than being interrupted with an ad first. But those days are gone because now YouTube has the right to put ads on regardless. Therefore, it is my opinion that all of us should sprint to be a part of the YPP no matter what. So at least we can all collect that 55% as well as develop multiple streams of income. Don't stress in the short term, although I know this is kind of crazy, but because what can you do other than just create content, keep building, get that 1,000 subscribers, keep building towards the watch time hours. But regardless, YouTube is a free platform. And like most platforms, whether it's a blog, an audio platform, ads display, ads play. You use Instagram for free. People are swiping. They see your content and they see a sponsored post. They're going to see ads. YouTube is just kind of deciding to make even more money by just starting to roll out ads across content that is advertiser friendly, meets policies, but it's not part of the YPP yet. And it's out of your control. What you can control is the next video you create as your strategy, is how quickly you're focusing on growing, and is creating multiple streams of revenue, which again, if you want to learn more about that, don't miss our updated web class, link in the description at thinkmasterclass.com. So how much are creators earning? How much are creators earning with the YPP? Here's some recent stats of some of the top channels. So Ryan's Toy World, right? Ryan's World has 25 million subscribers, and they have him listed as earning $26 million in a year. Now, I believe these stats, it may be an aggregate of what they think he makes from brand deals and this, that, and the other thing. But some of these examples, this is talking just AdSense, meaning just the YouTube Partner Program, because there's no way they could know what endorsements, brand deals, and the full width of everything else that they're doing. So I want you to notice this. Ryan's a kids channel. He unboxes toys, plays games, and does quizzes and puzzles to entertain kids. So, and he's crushing. So if you, no matter who your content's targeted for, check the right box and know that you can grow and still make a lot of money with the YPP, even if you have kids content. Notice this, that he's also expanded to 8 other channels, making Ryan's World a small empire. Second, Dude Perfect, $20 million. Anastasia Radzin, I'm not going to try to say the last name. Somebody help me. 18 million. A 5-year-old Russian girl. So clearly an adult had to sign up for the AdSense program. 55.6 million followers and $18 million in a year. She has 120 million followers across 6 channels. So a lot of the people that really start to build big influence and focus heavily on YouTube's partner program, the YPP, start to expand into multiple channels to just bring in a windfall of revenue from all of that viewership, giving people more content, more things to look at. Jeffree Star or Rhett and Link at 17.5 million. And then Jeffree Star, 17 million. And it says with millions of millions of followers and his own cosmetics line, Jeffree Star makes significantly more from his cosmetics line than he does from his YouTube ads, but 17 million a year. Could you live on that? Let me know in the comments if you could live on 17 million in a year. Okay. So check this out though. This whole industry, friends, is just getting started and it's going crazy. So there's a really in-depth article that just came out that did a deep dive study that discovered that 2 million creators are making six-figure incomes on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch globally. And I want you to see this. So it revealed that there are over 2 million professional creators. Now, this is a cross-platform, and there's 46.7 amateur creators in the world. At the time of recording this, going into 2021 at the beginning, there are now over 50 million content creators, 1 million professional creators on YouTube, and 12 million amateur creators on YouTube. This has become the fastest growing type of small business out of all of them, right? Now, here's what's shocking to me. Their definition of a professional creator in this study was they said, what a professional creator is a creator that's full-time. And for that creator to be full-time, that means they're earning a six-figure salary. They're making at least six figures. So I about spit out my, alkaline water because I was like, since when did you need to make six figures to be full-time? I moved to Vegas with my wife, Sonia, and our two chihuahuas to work at a church for $42,000 a year. And in Vegas cost of living, I felt like we were living like kings. Like 42 grand a year in Vegas back in 2010. Freaking, I felt like the Prince of Egypt. Like I was just, and so I think it's interesting that to be considered professional, that's a staggering number. And I want to encourage you by how much opportunity there is. If a million creators, because I know you're like, well, there's so much competition. My friends, look at how many people are actually doing so well. Put that in perspective. A million creators are earning over six figures. Thousands are earning seven figures on just YouTube. And you could see this chart, right? There's other platforms. But let's look at that 12 million YouTube creator number. That means those creators, some are earning nothing, right? They're just getting started, but some are earning hundreds a year or a month. Some are earning thousands and some are earning multiple thousands. And what I want you to hear is going into 2021 and what this deep dive Signal Fire article revealed is that this creator economy is going to double over the next few years, meaning creators making this a full-time living, a full-time income. So out of that 12 million creators, millions are earning hundreds a year. Millions are earning thousands a year, an extra 5 grand a year, an extra 12,000 a year. And millions are earning high five figures, 45 grand, 55 grand, 68,000. And there's so much freaking opportunity in this space. I'm not trying to overhype it to say like, it's just so easy. Like you shoot one video on your webcam without trying and a windfall of money goes into your bank account. This stuff takes work. It takes discipline. It takes strategy. It takes focus. But this is the fastest growing small business type. And it is established. It's tried and true. And there's ways to navigate. This is the mission of Think Media and Think Marketing. We want to help 10,000, just 10,000 of those 12 million become full-time creators. We want to help 10,000 purpose-driven people create a full-time living, doing what they love while making a difference in the world with online video. I don't even define that by six figures because I know that you can live the median household income in America, which is an incredible, incredible, incredible place to live, is like 55, 58,000. So how much opportunity is in that red 12 million? And furthermore, how much opportunities there is on even these other platforms. YouTube, my friends, is just getting started. The creator economy is just getting started. It's reached a pretty massive level with this many content creators, but this article very soberly and with much clarity and zero hype broke down how the industry, whether it's software companies, whether it's camera companies, whether it's creators themselves, whether it's finance companies helping creators finance projects, how people are viewing creators like startups, This is the new era, friend. This is the future. And I know if you're subscribed to Think Media, Think Marketing, that you're a part of that journey. And maybe this is what you want to build. So let me know, what is your ambition with YouTube? What's your goal with YouTube? What is it that you want to build? Do you want to go full-time? Are you already part-time or full-time? Have you already started earning money? Let me know. And are you a part of the YPP? Are you already a part of the YouTube Partner Program? Have you learned anything in regards to the YPP? And what questions do you have about monetization? If you've been getting value out of this How YouTube Works series, it would mean the world to me if you hit the like button, but also let me know what other questions you have and what do you want me to cover in future videos. I'll hit a few of the frequently asked questions and questions that are coming in now. But as a final reminder, today's episode is brought to you by the TubeStarterKit.com, where you can get a jumpstart. Best deal we've done of the whole year, 90% off. You can grab the special for a limited time. If you go to TubeStarterKit.com, there may be some other special, but it won't be at this holiday discounted price of just $37. That's 90% off. Link in the description down below. These are the key elements. Get your thumbnails right so you can get that click through. Save money on gear. Make the right video ideas to grow your channel. Get the 51 money-making video ideas. Tons of video ideas outside of the YPP. So no matter what size your channel is at, you need money for the mission. A lot of really cool resources. Go to TubeStarterKit.com to learn more about that. If you got value out of today's Coffee with Cano, hit like. We've been in a deep dive episode here, and let me know if you've been enjoying this series. And I just want to say I appreciate you so much.
Start making better YouTube videos today with the YouTube Starter Kit. Create videos that get views and get subscribers and ultimately make you money. For a limited time, get 90% off the YouTube Starter Kit, a power-packed digital asset bundle that will dramatically shortcut your path to creating or reviving your YouTube channel. Get it today for only $37. This offer won't last. You'll get instant access to the 6 resources valued at over $630. So head to TubeStarterKit.com and start creating better videos today.